Hey, Scrappy Peeps! Suzanna here today for the Scraproom to share with you this layout that I created using the PinkFresh Studio Out and About collection, which is in the April kits. April, yes, April. So I have two digital cut files that I've used here. One is that airplane, which can be found in the Silhouette store, and the clouds, which I believe are from Ashley Horton, but I cannot swear by that, but they are not, I don't believe, in the Silhouette store. So remember that I subscribe to the pattern paper add-on as well as receive the embellishment add-on. So what I have here are some extra papers. In fact, if you see an A and an O, that means add-on, and that's my way of labeling so that I know what I have used. I am going to add that corally, those are compasses, a larger strip of that, and then a thinner strip at the bottom of sort of a more salmony color. I like the way that these colors are going to bring out that little piece of me in the right hand photo that's going to go on the page right there that I'm adjusting there. So I like the way that it pulls out some more color into the page and it grounds the layout. It gives you that illusion of the air, and then kind of that pink stuff ends up being sort of the ground, grounding the top to the bottom of the page. The other thing that I attempt to do here is I am actually using a piece of pattern paper, though very lightly patterned, as a background, which is unusual for me. And that pattern paper has a vertical column down the right hand side of travel icons. And so my idea, as you see right there, is I'm trying to create a second vertical column on the left hand side to match that. So that fly tag is from the embellishments that come with the kit. That is just my selection. Every kit is going to be different. And then now what I'm doing is I'm going through the add-on embellishments, and I'm just looking for the travel themed, well, this is travel, I should say. Let me correct myself there. I am looking for the flight traveled embellishments. Some of them are generic, like that adventure and that arrow that I have there, but most of them are sort of more specific to a particular type of travel. And I do want to stick with the blues, the teals that are in this collection, and have that weighted blue move down that left hand side there. So I am actually going to end up using minimal embellishments and all of the embellishments to have that teal color to them. So you see that adventure arrow that's on that left hand side there? I am actually going to move it to the right of the photos, which I don't like. It is in my final photo, but as I'm looking at it now, as I'm voicing this over for the second time, and I'm not quite sure why, I really like it there, and I think I'm going to have to move it back there. It maintains that vertical column, and there's something that takes away from the layout on the right hand side, and I love that we have that artist's discretion, I'm going to say, to be able to make those choices and change the placement of things after the fact, which is why I really like this dry dot adhesive as opposed to the liquid adhesive. Liquid adhesive is great for the small things like the clouds that when you put them down you don't actually end up moving them, but those smaller embellishments I do often end up moving, and it's easier to do when you've got these roller adhesives. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after I'm done voicing this over. So the other thing, that airplane, I do off camera take a fine tip black pen, and I'm going to just outline the outline of that. It needed a little bit more contrast, and that is cut from cardstock, and it is intentionally cut at an angle to sort of create that movement of flight. I am using liquid adhesive here to get those clouds down. Truly, that is the best way to do it on these smaller detail things, and I knew I wasn't going to end up moving those. The clouds that are cut from, those are actually the innards of the clouds. I'm going to use some foam adhesive to pop those up. Those of you who follow my scrapbooking know that I like dimension in my pages. I don't like a lot of dimension, but I do like dimension. And so I will pop a few of those. And I am actually using one of those clouds, the one that's going to go up the top. I cut off the mat, and so it's actually there. The original purpose of that was to cover up that little mistake that I made there, which I'm perfectly fine with. So these photos of me are of the view out of my window in the emergency exit aisle, as well as a selfie of myself. I was in Orlando for 4 days, and on my way home, I was actually not in Orlando to go to Disney, but to see my son swim. And coincidentally enough, I happened to be on the same plane as him heading home, just not sitting beside him, which was somewhat unusual for me. And that is what I will write about in the journaling, as well as yeah, just the story of those pictures there. So it was kind of unusual for me to journal about myself and scrapbook pictures of myself, but I'm getting more and more into that as my kids are getting older and life becomes less focused on them as they don't want to be in pictures. So that is my use of PinkFresh Studios as is found in the April kits. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Enjoy the close-ups, and thanks for stopping in today. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.